You're in tune with FM 89.7 WCVT in Towson. The Unique is next.
Good evening. My name is Rod Misey. Welcome to The Unique, and here with us in our studios, we're very happy to have with us local rock and roll band the Moronics. And we'll start off the interview by having them introduce themselves to you.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Should we go through the names?
Yeah.
Tom.
Jamie. And Dave.
And what do you play?
Well, my name's Dave, and I play the bass.
Play conga drums, bells, tambourines, bang my head.
Guitar. Drums.
How did the band originally form?
In October of 1977, there was this obscure place called the Apathy Project in Lovegrove Alley between Preston and Biddle Streets, and it was a bohemian kind of a thing, and a lot of poetry and performances by groups like the Butterfly Band, which doesn't exist anymore, and we did it as a joke, because before that we were myself and a guy named Bill Moriarty were turned on to the new wave, and people like the Pistols and the Damned and things like that, and we thought it was funny. We couldn't believe that this was really happening, but it was, so we said we should do it too. But we wanted to make a serious joke out of it, and we did. And we performed at the Apathy Project a couple times, and the people that witnessed it said, "Hey, that's okay, why don't you do it again?" So we kept doing it, and we kept getting tighter, and then we got some more instruments. We got a bass. When we first started, it was just a guitar and drums and vocals, and we had one amp. We played guitar and vocals through the amp. It was a little Fender reverb amp, and it was pretty bad.
Dada 70s,
But people liked it.
So it just started out as strictly a fun thing to do.
Right, it was a joke. And since then, it's been nothing but pain and misery. But no, it's been fun.
As far as the amount of gigs you've had ever since that point, have you been satisfied with that?
Oh, yeah. But, of course, I just happen to have a list of gigs here.
Speaking of gigs,
since October of '77 at the Apathy Project, we started infiltrating the Maryland Institute of Art, which is where we all hail from. And then we started playing at the Marble Bar between breaks with the Loose Shoes Rhythm Band, who sort of helped us out a lot in the beginning.
yeah, thanks, guys.
Gave us a lot of breaks. And locals, Mr. Waters, Mr. John Waters, graciously let us play at his birthday party. Root Boy Slim, when he first appeared here, let us play his break. And stuff like the Smoke-In that they had here down in Wyman Park, we showed up for that. And Hand Ratties, which was a real breakthrough, because Hand Ratties is a sort of country rock bar.
As many bars are in the vicinity.
As bars are, yeah. And he gave us a chance for a while. Then we started migrating to Washington, D.C., playing the Atlantis Club, which had an ill-fated ending, and the Washington Project for the Arts. College Park area, which was one place where we wouldn't like to go back. But out of that D.C. thing, we got on that 30 Seconds Over D.C. album, which was, I think, came out at the end of last year. Oh yeah, and we actually went to New York once and played at CBGBs, which was like...
it's like playing anywhere else.
It's like playing anywhere else. They're all the same. I mean, could have been in Philly, or Pittsburgh, or something.
How did the CBGBs thing come about?
We had a manager back then.
Yeah, at the time we had a manager, Steve Parlato, who's a hell of a guy. Really helped us out in the beginning. He believed in us, he had a lot of faith in us, and we just cracked him up, so... he and myself went up to New York one weekend, and we went to a couple clubs, and CBGBs was one of them. And we played our tape, and they were not impressed, and we weren't impressed either. But they said, well, we'll give you guys a chance. You come up here. They gave us a date, and we showed up, and we did it for no pay.
Someone stole all our
Someone
microphones.
stole our microphones.
Yeah. What was the name of
This
that
band called The Worms.
The Worms,
They
yeah.
were local.
Yeah.
See, if you're not from New York, in those kind of club scenes, the punk clubs, and you're an out-of-town band, they peg you and they've got you. They said, well, you guys are just schmucks, we're going to take advantage of you. And they did.
Yeah. Our roadie at the time, it was sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing, was a little neglectful, we think.
Yeah, we're usually the roadies. We don't have roadies. We carry the equipment and set it up. But
We were expecting a little too much. But it was like playing at the Marble Bar or at the Mustard Seat or anywhere,
In the old days of the Marble Bar wasn't too good for us, because at the time Mr. Cunningham was running it, and he did not like us at all.
Pull the cord.
Yeah, he would
He
always
would turn the
Just
line
like
down,
Carol
pull the
McKinley.
plugs.
get
a couple
very,
of times.
very upset. But bands like the Loose Shoes gave us a chance to do it, because they believed in us, and they said, well, these guys are trying to do something, and they're trying to say something, and they deserve a chance. But in those days, it wasn't like it is now. Of course, that was only 2 years ago, but
Well, there's
a lot has happened in the last
There's a
2 years.
new management at the Marble Bar, which has
Yeah,
turned out to be
Roger
pretty
Anderson's
good.
a real nice guy. I say that
He's
because
really trying to get the Marble Bar back in gear, and I think everybody should go there and give him their support, because it's not like it used to be.
well, he has appreciation for all kinds of music, whereas Mr. Cunningham only appreciated his music, and there's a musical prejudice there, I guess. But Roger Anderson is very open-minded, and he's trying just like anybody else. Of course, he doesn't have the crowds that they used to have in the old days. But I'm saying the old days like it was like 10 years ago. But it seems that long, but I guess.
The first two songs we have here were recorded at the National Recording Studios here in Baltimore, and they're called Neutron Bomb and Sub Shop. Could you explain how they came about to be written?
Is that Neutron Bomb?
Yeah.
That song came out when the Neutron Bomb controversy started. 70s, or late 77, early 78, when there was all this big to-do about neutron bombs and, I don't know, Kanish bombs and hoagie bombs, and, one country has a bigger bomb than the other country, and so we thought maybe we should, but after that we found out a lot of bands all over the country were writing songs about neutron bombs.
Yeah.
And a lot of real estate agents are really happy about the about the
Property is
bomb
where it's
too.
at.
Yeah.
So
And the
we
second
decided
song-
to do that.
Go ahead.
Sub Shop, yeah. That was sort of a satire on carryouts, because we eat a lot of carryout food.
And if you're familiar with any kind of carry-out places in the city, I don't know about so much in the suburbs. I haven't been there for a
Dino's.
while. I'll try to stay away, but
Howard Wolfie's place.
they're usually run by, I hate to say foreigners, but people of different descent rather than your basic.
Up in Towson, we have the Pizza Palace.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But that's run by
All over
Catholics,
the-
isn't it?
And fast
All
food
over,
is
they cover the globe.
rampant. Everybody has that. That's what comes with Billy's
Comes of age.
Sort of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Just different ethnic minorities tend to own these places and run them, and they all have, each one has their own special quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll become evident in the song too.
I believe so,
Yeah,
Mr. Hopkins.
Yeah. But it's a love song too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You
Has
know,
a subplot.
Okay, let's listen now to the Moronics with Neutron Bomb, followed by Sub Shop.
Neutron murder kids! Neutron bomb! Neutron bomb's gonna blow you away. Neutron bomb's gonna happen today. Neutron bomb's gonna happen today. Neutron bomb's gonna blow you away. Neutron bomb, you're a shit on the wall. Nothing to you at all. Albert Einstein, he was the man. He was the one with the A-bomb plan. But that was yesterday. Today is today. Neutron bomb all the way. Neutron bomb's gonna blow you away. Neutron bomb's gonna happen today. Neutron bomb, you're a shit on the wall. Neutron bomb, nothing to you at all. With Madeline, me and her are illegal aliens at the surf shop, baby, at the surf shop, mama, at the surf. Well, I work at the sub shop for Mr. Bornstein. He's really neat, man. He's really keen. At the surf shop, baby. At the surf shop, mama. At the surf. What's it you say you want? Breakfast? We don't serve breakfast at the sub shop after 11. Have a hamburger, a roast beef sandwich, and Mr. Bornstein! Ham and cheese or the mayo! At the surf shop, baby. At the surf shop, mama. At the surf. At the surf. At the surf.
Just heard Sub Shop, preceded by Neutron Bomb by the Moronics, and they're here with me in our studios today. Next question I want to ask you is, whenever I talk to people about the Moronics, they seem to think of your band as being a punk band, yet I know that you consider yourselves just simply a rock and roll band instead. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think that most people, when they, in this day and age, and there's so much media hype about punk rock, that they tend to hear a band that's a little unusual and plays rock, they'll label it as a punk band. I think people that are a little more educated, listen to a lot of music seriously, may have a better understanding of what actually was punk music. I don't really think I can name any bands right now that are playing punk rock, except perhaps some LA bands which sort of play a filtered version of it. What they get their perspective points from the media rather than from the actual energy that started the whole thing.
It's like beer labels. Because it's all the same in the bottle, you know. Just the labels are different.
Yeah, what were the Fugs? Were the Fugs punk, you know? I mean, it's...
Yeah. or Beefheart or Old
Well, what do you
Zappa.
define punk as being?
Sort of, well, punk was. I don't think it is anymore, really.
I feel I'm too old to be a punk. Jesus, if I was 16.
How old are you?
Don't you think, though, that it might be considered more of an attitude than anything else that you can have at any age?
Yeah. Well, I have that. I'm very cynical, and I tend to frown upon things, that are happening in this beautiful world of ours. Like, not stuff like I hate Coca-Cola, or I hate pantyhose, something. I mean, it is an attitude. I know what a lot of people with their attitudes, like the country rock people, they have their attitude, and jazz people have their attitude. But they're all musicians, so you can't get an understanding, like a universal kind of a feeling. Say, well, you're doing your thing, we're doing our thing. Let's be happy, in doing it. Instead, it's like these invisible walls, these invisible barriers that are put up by these different groups with different interests and different sounds.
Yeah, we may have a lot in common with, as far as some ideals with some of the original punk culture, but at the same time, our perspective points aren't what theirs were at all. And I don't think that there's the what you hear from in America of what is classified as punk by the media is sort of a rehash of
Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, Jamie, you tell him what punk is.
Bad attitude. There's a lot of people like to eat tasty cakes. I'm opposed to that.
I'm appalled by it.
why do you think they call us the Moronics?
It's it's life is hard these days, and
Yeah, not a lot of gas.
and people are tired of being in line. I mean, somebody has to
Get up
have an
front.
attitude and say what they feel about the society. If that's being a punk, I mean, we're just trying to make a statement
Yeah. That was
about our society.
That was our purpose from the
That's
very
the,
beginning.
that's the very purpose.
was to make statements about things.
You-
Uh-huh.
Do you look at your music as being a criticism of popular culture?
Definitely, yeah. That's what we try to do. That's our purpose.
At the same time, it's still good rock music. I mean,
Well,
it's
It's a matter
I'll
of opinion,
dispute
I
that.
suppose.
oh yeah.
make love, not war. No, go ahead. I don't want to. No, I wasn't going to say anything important anyway.
You mentioned earlier that you'd played up at CBGBs last year, and the next several songs we have on our tape up here were recordings from there.
Mm-hmm.
And in about a minute or two, we'll be listening to two of those songs. First, something called Cancer, which will be followed by a song called Perry Mason. How did they come about?
Cancer came about, obviously, because cancer is the #1 disease in America and probably in other places. I don't know about Siberia, but just about everybody I know, smokes cigarettes or eats weird food.
Who drinks
so-
Coca-Cola
And we're all
injects carcinogens into their body
we're
one
all-
way or another.
We're all doing it.
We're all sitting around
we're all
smoking
smoking
cigarettes,
cigarettes.
drinking Coke,
The
so
psychopathic
it's subtle
country we
suicide.
live in. Yeah, so.
We found when we did that song to certain crowds, the facial reaction that when we start that song and Billy goes cancer, there was a very definite set apart surprise type of everybody looks at
Yeah,
you
the
differently
unspoken word.
than the other songs. We do different kinds of music, but that one song in New York and other places too, in Washington, they seem to be less. More expressionless in Washington. We played at the WPA down there last summer, and it seemed like they were all just cardboard.
Yeah, really.
I mean, no one moved or did anything or expressed anything at all. Not even smiled. It was like polite applause at the end.
Well, it's hard to accept.
And,
You go around telling people, you go around telling
Yeah,
everybody they're going to
they
get
have,
cancer.
cancer, yeah.
Everybody has it.
They didn't react though, as much as some of the crowds. There's some that song and a couple others that we used to do, Child Molester and songs like that. Get a response, and people smile. You start a new song, they go, "Oh, what's this?" You know. Then the first words come out, and it's an obvious, "Wow, you just ran over my cat." You know, it's like, "Wow, what's going on?" And then there's other songs like Sub Shop, isn't, you know, that doesn't strike as close.
I think when you bring things to somebody's attention that they know about, but they tend to push toward the back of their minds, like cancer. I mean, everybody knows that a lot of things will give you cancer, and there's all kinds of talk about it, but you don't think about it consciously. You don't say, "Well, I'm smoking this cigarette, so that this increasing the chances of my getting cancer. I'm drinking this Coke, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that." It's the kind of thing you sort of you accept it. You go, "Okay, well, this is not going to happen to me." It's like, you're driving drunk, you're not going to have an accident, or making love without contraception, you're not going to get pregnant. You know, smoking a cigarette, you're not going to get cancer. But when you spell it out right for, you know, and put it out in front of everybody, they sort of have a immediate reaction
Deny
of,
it.
"God, no."
Do you think that the way people react to it might have to do with the fact that they just take it a bit too seriously, than rather just as, you know, kind of black humorous statement?
I think the majority, or the mass, doesn't even think about it. I mean, they go on living their lives and doing the things that they do. And cancer, I don't think, ever comes up in a dinner table discussion, you know.
It's kind of everyone's
subject
doesn't think that they'll get
it's
it.
not a taboo, but it's you know, it's scary. Doesn't bother me.
See, we're not crepe hangers. We're actually, you know, fun-loving people. But
Yes.
you know, we're all gonna die.
We're a
eventually,
party
you
band.
know.
And the next song we'll be hearing is called Perry Mason.
Perry Mason, USA. Yeah, that's a takeoff on the justice system.
Any particular incidences that...
The case of the. No, it's just a takeoff on, you know, justice. I think it's a joke. Of course,
Popular
I'm
television also.
have very sordid opinions about the American dream and you know, getting busted and all that. It's just like Perry Mason, you know, the TV show, which has had a long running. You can get it 3 times a day, you know, on different stations. I think Channel 5 plays it twice, and Channel 20 plays, I don't know.
Channel 45.
Yeah, it's almost 3 times a day. You know?
Yeah, if you have the cash, you don't have to go to jail. You know, if you got the right lawyer. You know.
Yeah. If I ever get busted, I can get Perry Mason.
Perry Mason.
Or Raymond Burr or Ironside.
#1 lawyer.
Okay, the next songs we have, as we've been
Lorne
discussing,
Green.
are Cancer and Perry Mason, recorded live at CBGBs by the Moronics last August.
It's your disease. Cancer, book magazine. Cancer, it's what you got. Cancer, no, no, no. Well, they put me in the emergency room. They kept me on a dose on Seconals. And they put that incision into my chest. Let me tell you, brother, I was a mess. Your disease, cancer, the 1970s. Cancer is what you got. Cancer, right. They put that incision, it really hurt. I didn't know what to do. I got flu. They fed me through my nose, even though I couldn't see what's the matter with me. the courtroom 3 times a day. Perry Mason! Perry Mason, USA. He's in court 3 times a day. Perry Mason, USA. Get up on the witness stand. Raise up your right hand. Perry Mason, USA. La 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 la. Whoa 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 whoa. Crack 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 crack. Die die die. Perry Mason, USA. He's in court 3 times a day. Perry Mason, USA. They caught me with a gun in my hand. Perry said I'm a good man. He got me off. I'm doing fine. Cloud 9. I'm claiming the 5th Amendment. I ain't gotta talk. I got a lawyer. Perry Mason, USA. He's in court 3 times a day. Perry Mason, USA. Don't break down the street. I hope that Barry can agree. Perry Mason, USA. Caught me with a gun in my hand. Barry said he's a good man.